Ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for Her Royal Highness's entrance, might you please take your seat? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. We'll have a toast to the office of the President of the United States. To the office of the President of the United States. And ladies and gentlemen, to His Majesty the King. To the King.
Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you again for being here today. Your Royal Highness, distinguished guests, and dear friends, I'm Karen Karpwich, the Executive Director of the English-Speaking Union of the United States. Welcome to our 2022 Gala. We're gathered here for a very special evening. We're hosting Her Royal Highness, the Princess Royal, who made this trip from England to be with us tonight. We are deeply grateful for this trip. With us today are ESU members, friends, and benefactors, as well as representatives from the international ESUs who are here to join us in the celebration as we salute the Princess Royal and honor individuals who've given so much to the English-speaking union. I want to mention that on your table, we have given you all a Jefferson cup, a pewter Jefferson cup, as a kind of remembrance of this event, because it's been so important to us. So I hope you all take that home with you and think about the ESU in the future when you use it for whatever you might use your Jefferson cup for, which might be a mint julep. The program tonight truly rises to the occasion. We are to unveil the English-Speaking Union National Shakespeare Competition Paul Beresford Hill Cup. This silver trophy will recognize the winners of the prestigious competition and is named after the ESU Chairman Emeritus, Dr. Paul Beresford Hill, who founded it in 1983, what would become the ESU signature national program. We will acknowledge the inaugural 2020 Princess Royal Award honorees, and we will honor the 2022 recipients of the awards, Dr. Loveday Conquest, Mrs. Natalie Prey, and Dr. Julia Churchill Vandewater for their numerous contributions to the English-speaking union in its wider global setting. There will be a piano performance by our chairman, Dr. Quinn Pieper, who is also a classically trained concert pianist. But the highlight undoubtedly will be Her Royal Highness. Your Royal Highness presence and your address, I know that everyone gathered here in person and having joined virtually are looking forward to it. And now I would like to welcome Dr. Quinn Pieper, Chairman of our National Board of Directors.
Your Royal Highness, dear friends and honored guests, first, on behalf of the English-Speaking Union Board of Directors and all of our members across the United States, may I extend to you, ma'am, a very warm welcome to the English-Speaking Union of the United States. We are especially moved by your presence here tonight, despite the sad circumstances of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's passing. It is a loss felt deeply all over the world because Her late Majesty the Queen was such an inspiration for so many people. Please accept our condolences, our gratitude for keeping your promise to be with us here tonight. At this time, I'd like to thank Ms. Emma Wade Smith, OBE, His Majesty General Consul General in New York, and Mr. James Roscoe, His Majesty's Deputy Head of Mission to Washington, D.C. I would also like to acknowledge Ms. Jane Easton, the Director General of the ESU of the Commonwealth, who's flown in to be with us from London. And I'd like to acknowledge Ms. Lucia Dumont, who is a former president of the ESU International Council and with ESU France, who flew with us to be with us tonight from France. I'm actually thrilled. This is an international event, and I'm pleased to announce that ESU France, Lithuania, Loire Valley, Mauritius, Mongolia, Serbia, Wellington, New Zealand, and Ukraine are all with us tonight. They are joining us remotely thanks to the generous effort of Mr. Donald Best, one of our trustees. I would especially like to welcome Dr. Nadia Ivanenko, the ESU president of Ukraine. Nadia and I spoke on the phone during her exodus from Ukraine. And on behalf of the ESU of the United States, I am sure, on behalf of everyone in this room tonight, I would like to express solidarity with our friends in ESU Ukraine and the people of Ukraine. We strongly support the Ukrainian people in their fight for democracy, self-determination, and we salute their bravery and resolve. I would also like to gratefully acknowledge the support of the donors who made this spectacular evening possible. Dr. Loveday Conquest and Mr. Fred Kleinschmidt, Ms. Natalie Prey, Dr. Julia Churchill Vanderwater, Mr. Donald Best, Mr. Frederick London, Mr. Darrell McCormick, Mr. Robert Morris and Mrs. Sarah Morris, Mr. and Mrs. Stanley DeForest Scott, and Ms. Lorraine Villery. I thank them. I thank them for their generous gifts, which will help bolster ESU's most impactful educational programs. And greetings to our members from Central Florida, Denver, Kansas City, and New Orleans, my hometown, branches that are holding events, as well as our members who have joined us virtually from their home tonight. Your Royal Highness, your presence at our gala tonight is an affirmation of the role of our English-speaking union that has over a century been advancing international understanding through the use of the English language. For all of us gathered here tonight, in person and in joining virtually from far-flung places around the United States and indeed around the world, it is a recognition of the ESU's contribution to society, a recognition of the people who have given of themselves to make this organization strong and influential. And tonight we will honor several of these individuals, the inaugural 2020 Princess Royal Award honorees and the 2022 Princess Royal Award recipients. Tonight we will also unveil the ESU National Shakespeare Competition Paul Beresford Hill Cup. And then I want to address a few things for 2023, an exciting year for the ESU. We have big plans for next year. We'll be focusing on strengthening our membership and the programs that engage and inspire members, such as the Evelyn Wrench Speakers Program and the ESU National Shakespeare Competition. In 2023, the ESU Shakespeare Competition is going to be 40 years old. Throughout the spring, there will be a series of events, a Shakespeare festival if you like, to highlight the Bard's universal appeal and contemporary relevance and engage our branches in celebrating this important milestone. We will be back at Lincoln Center in April 2023 for the high school competition. And in July, a celebration will reprise when patrons join me on a transatlantic crossing on the Queen Mary II, followed by an exploration of Elizabethan England under the theme, The Bard's Queens on Board. We also recently introduced an ESU National Shakespeare Writing Program, and this is a year-long program that consists of both competitive as well as non-competitive elements for high school students. And it will engage students who express the love of the language and Shakespeare through writing rather than performance. As far as our immigrants programs are concerned, our 45-year-old English in Action program and the comprehensive Andrew Ramey Immigrant Support System, these are another path to the hearts and the minds of our members, current and future, by engaging them in volunteerism and cultural exchange. And next year in 2023, we will have the 10th anniversary of the ARNIC program, a milestone which we will also celebrate. We will also recognize the impact of the Center on thousands of new immigrants who have been empowered with language fluency, resources, and networks to build successful careers and lives in the United States. One area that I think that we need more emphasis are our international programs. The Secondary School Exchange Program sends students across the pond during their high school to study at a reciprocal school. the Lord Morse Scholarship, students from historically black colleges and universities to spend their sophomore semester studying at a British university of their choice. And then we have the T-Lab, the Teachers Learning Abroad program, which teachers have the opportunity to study at the University of Oxford, University of Edinburgh, or the Globe for 3 weeks during the summer. I see a couple of the alumni of these programs in the audience, Dr. Larry Morse, Bruce Thompson, and Natalie Nimarata. Your loyalty and generosity to these programs we sincerely appreciate from the bottom of our hearts. Your life's trajectory has changed because of your participation in the program, and we thank you so much for continuing to support them. I also anticipate more international involvement with our ESU branches across the world in 2023. Early in 2020, Dr. Lucia Dumond and myself were collaborating on an event with ESU Paris to celebrate America's 100th anniversary. The pandemic kind of foiled that plan, but we're resurrecting, we're keeping that plan available, and hopefully in 2023 we may make it to Paris yet. The English-speaking union is committed to strengthening the bonds between nations and cultures through our shared language. And this commitment is rooted in the importance that our founder, Sir Evelyn Wrench, placed on the ties that bind the United States and Great Britain, a special relationship that has been forged in the fires of 2 world wars and has blossomed in the years of peace and prosperity. Now I have the pleasure to introduce to you His Majesty's Consul General in New York, Ms. Emma Wade-Smith. Ms. Wade-Smith, OBE, has been Her Majesty's Trade Commissioner for North America and New York since November 2021. Prior to this appointment, she spent nearly 6 years leading the UK government's Pan-African Regional Trade and Investment Team as Her Majesty's Trade Commissioner for Africa. Before, Ms. Wade-Smith worked at the British Embassy in Washington, D.C. as the UK's Counselor for Foreign and Security Policy. She was awarded an OBE by Her Majesty the Queen for her work, helping British nationals to safety from hot spots all over the world. And it gives me special pleasure as the Honorary Consul to Louisiana to introduce Ms. Wade-Smith. It's an honor to introduce you this evening, and welcome.
Your Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen, I'm immensely pleased to be part of this wonderful occasion, and I'm delighted to present all of you gathered here this evening with warm greetings from your friends across the United Kingdom. The ESU of the Commonwealth and the ESU of the USA were created 2 years apart after World War I to build up the friendship between our 2 nations. Since then, these 2 organisations have been excellent partners, embracing Sir Evelyn Wrench's idea that better communication through a shared language promotes peace, understanding, and goodwill among people of all cultures and countries. It is crystal clear that this purpose has taken firm root, especially by judging the network of 54 independent ESUs that now span the globe. The ESU's educational programs for members, students, teachers, and English language learners continue to expand their reach and engage greater numbers of participants. These programs and activities carry forward the ESU mission and are made possible by the generosity, dedication, and active involvement of all of you, ESU members right across this amazing country. Thank you for all that you do, and congratulations on tonight's beautiful gala. May your work continue to expand minds, strengthen friendships, and unlock opportunities through the use of the English language. Thank you very much.
The Edwardians founded innumerable clubs, societies, and associations across sport, politics, and all walks of life. Not many have survived to celebrate their centennials, and very few have done so in such good health as the English-speaking Union. For this, many people deserve credit, but the ESU owes its existence to one man, Sir Evelyn Wrench. John Evelyn Leslie Wrench was born in Brookborough Co, Fermanagh, Ireland, on 29th of October 1882. His mother Charlotte was a strong influence and a trailblazer as a suffragette and vegetarian. His father Frederick was an Irish land commissioner charged with developing the Irish rural economy. Evelyn was brought up mainly at Killacoona, Co, Dublin, but the family travelled widely. At school, Evelyn was fair to middling academically, but noted for his popularity and his almost manic energy. Early on, his headmaster in preparatory school wrote to his father, "I'm keeping Evelyn in bed today, as his temperature is a little above normal, and I'm very glad that at last I have an excuse for sending him there." Having resolved upon a diplomatic career, in March 1899 he left Eton 2 years early in order to improve his languages. After travelling in Russia and Turkey, he spent 8 months in Weilburg, Germany. While in Germany, Wrench noted the popularity of picture postcards. Spotting a business opportunity, he put aside his plans of a diplomatic career and instead launched the Wrench series of postcards. The postcards were widely popular, with estimated sales of around 50 million cards. He was feted by the press as a fine example of a young entrepreneur and given a grand banquet for his 21st birthday. However, Wrench overextended and the business failed after 4 years, a personal blow that thereafter tempered his indefatigable enthusiasm. Evelyn's next 8 years were spent as the private secretary of Press Baron Sir Alfred Hamsworth, who sent Wrench to the US and Canada, where he would begin to form his first of the many associations that would define his life, the Royal Overseas League. Wrench variously described the ROSL as a kind of grown-up Boy Scouts, or a kind of Freemasonry open to both sexes with nothing secret about it. Its stated objective was to draw together in the bond of comradeship British citizens the world over. But despite its imperialist character and aims, Wrench always emphasized that the club was non-sectarian, non-party, open to women, and non-jingoist. With the outbreak of the First World War, Wrench mobilized the ROSL to raise £1 million for tobacco and other comforts for the troops, as well as purchase 350 aeroplanes for the Royal Flying Corps, which he subsequently joined until the war's end. During the war, Wrench was struck for the need for Anglo-American unity in the future. Shortly before the war's end, he outlined his first plans for a new society embracing Britain, the Dominions, and the US at a meeting on 28th of June 1918, formally launching the English-speaking Union. The English-speaking Union of the Commonwealth prospered rapidly. It acquired its first office in July 1918, soon developed a program of exchanges, traveling fellowships, debates, lectures, and social events. It also developed branches internationally, and its sister organization, the English-speaking Union of the United States, was founded in 1920 with ex-President William H. Taft as its first president. For most of the interwar period, Wrench was editor of Landmark, the English-speaking Union's newsletter, but went on to acquire The Spectator in 1925 and serve as editor until 1932, the year he was knighted. Wrench also founded his third organization, the All People's Association, with the aim of promoting friendship among the world's people. The organization was unsuccessful due to its focus on Anglo-German relations, and Wrench shuttered the organization when its 7 branches in Germany fell under Nazi control in 1936. In May 1937, he caused a minor scandal by marrying Hilda Brooke only 4 months after the death of her husband. Wrench and she had been very close from an early age, with him describing her as his soulmate and corresponding almost daily when separated. It is within his relationship with Hilda that we catch a glimpse into perhaps the most notable of Wrench's traits, his ability to combine the idealistic and the practical, or the romantic and the businesslike, without admitting or even recognizing any contradiction between them. A scrap of paper, which he kept, entitled "Things I Love in My Beloved," written while shaving, August 8, 1931, illustrates this perfectly. He lists her humility, her steadfastness, her solicitude for others, her coziness, her hair, her little fingers, her love of bathing, her love of flowers, before ending, without any trace of self-consciousness, her plans, her punctuality, her packing arrangements. It is with this attitude that many remember Wrench as a practical idealist, who was prepared to admit that perhaps my friends were right when they warned me not to be too visionary. During the Second World War, Wrench lived in India and served as American Relations Officer to the Government of India, a post created for him by the Viceroy of India. At the war's end, he returned to England and continued as a prolific journalist, but also made time to pen his memoirs and numerous biographies. Despite his achievements, Wrench's final years were rather sad. He was deeply affected by the death of Hilda in 1955 and spent most of his time copying and recopying her letters. He died at his home, Mill House, Marlow, on 11th of November 1966, Armistice Day. Sir Evelyn Wrench was the founder of 5 international organizations and held countless diplomatic positions across the globe, all encapsulating his commitment to his ideal of global peace through understanding. The ESU could never have flourished without his vital contributions, his vision, practical energy, and enthusiasm. Today, we still uphold that vision that expands minds, strengthens friendships, and unlocks opportunities through the use of the English language.
I've struggled to identify just one word to describe the ESU. The English-speaking union means different things to diverse peoples and groups, and one word does not suffice.
I couldn't limit it to one word, so I'm going to say progressive.
Enriching, as in enriching the lives of tens of thousands of people every year.
Educational.
Friendship.
Scholarship.
Culturally valuable.
And fun.
I joined the ESU 26 years ago.
I joined the ESU sometime in the 60s.
I joined ESU in 1962.
I joined in the 1950s, which means that I've been a member for over 60 years.
So many wonderful memories make it difficult to select just one.
We had garden parties, and a particularly memorable one at the Barbadian Embassy, where we found out what true rum tastes like.
So many fond memories of the programs that were organized.
I have been a tutor at English in Action for about 2 years now. English in Action is a very supportive and inclusive environment.
Our diverse educational programs impact so many groups of people: teachers, immigrants, high school and middle school students.
We can connect with our youth with our programs, middle school debate and Shakespeare.
My fondest memory is of arriving each year for the annual competition again, the Shakespeare competition.
Our Shakespeare competition is something that I really, really enjoy.
It's great fun, and it really engages high school students with Shakespeare.
Connecting youth and our adult population to understand the history over 100 years of what our organization has done and the lives that it's impacted.
I think the greatest strength of the ESU is the English language. It's all over the world, and there's a wonderful opportunity for us to make connections across national borders.
The greatest strength of English-speaking union is to bring peoples of the world together.
And that work has been ongoing for the last 100 years.
We decided early on that English should be a means of inclusion, not a path of exclusion.
The next 100 years, I hope to see ESU USA grow through our common bond, the English language, to connect with others all over the world and across the United States.
For the next century, which is what we're interested in, they want to have a dialogue in English that will defeat injustice all over. And I think that just about sums it up.
My name is Belgica. I'm from Dominican Republic.
I'm from Kathmandu, Nepal.
Colombia.
I'm from Russia.
I'm Italian.
Cameroon is a central part of Africa.
I'm from Iran.
We come from Colombia.
Getting here at ARNIC gave me everything. First, the safe environment. So out there it's difficult to interact with people. They speak fast, they're always busy, they want to move quickly to other things.
I joined ARNIC because I was looking the best program for improve my English, and I think I find it in ARNIC program.
Although I was surrounded by so many Americans, but not so many people wanted to spend time with me because of my language level.
I was only staying with Nepalese, I was working with Nepalese, and I was traveling with Nepalese. All my friends were Nepalese. So I was feeling the desperate need to go outside my comfort zone.
I learned the different, shadows that the word gratitude can have in ARNIC. And I want to say yes, gratitude is my favorite word.
We just keep helping immigrants. There are many who are coming, they need help. They need help and support. Please, just keep help them.
When you come here the first time and you see the people around you, they're people kind, smiling, they respect you. It doesn't matter who stay with you. It's like it could be from different country, from different religions. It's really unique places. And it's like paradise place, really.
The thing that's so special about TLAB's program, as opposed to other professional developments, is that we have the opportunity to be here on the Globe stage, studying with Globe, not just teaching artists, but real Globe artists. The faculty that has worked with us here is no different than the faculty that works with the real actors on the Globe stage. So we are learning firsthand from masters of their craft. Something that I've really appreciated studying here is that no one has treated us as if we are any less than the actors on the Globe stage. Our opinions are as valued, appreciated, understood, empathized with, and respected, which has been so wonderful, and I think has instilled in all of us a sense of confidence and accessibility towards the language in the program, which sometimes you don't tend to get from a typical professional development. Also, the TLAB program at the Globe is very hands-on in a focus on performance. But something that the Globe does that I really appreciate is they scaffold it so well that they make it accessible for everyone. So a great number of our teachers have never performed before, but the way that the program has been built, by the time we go into our last week, which we're in now, and get ready to get onto the stage and perform Shakespearean texts ourselves on the stage, everyone has been made to feel comfortable and safe and confident in themselves through the work that we've done over the past 3 weeks with the Globe faculty.
Not only am I getting to live the history, but I am surrounded by colleagues, by peers
from all over the world. There are other teachers, there are scholars from India and China, Mexico, South America. And so I am able to take these diverse perspectives back to my students.
Aside from the personal bucket list aspect of this, I model for my students tenacity, and so the opportunity to be a TLAB scholar, I could model for them what it's like to continue to grow your own knowledge base.
Thank you all. Your Royal Highness and dear guests, several of our branches, and as many of you might know, we have over 50 branches throughout the United States, were gathering in their various towns to celebrate this evening. And I'm very happy to announce that we have received videos from the Kansas City branch, the New Orleans branch, and one branch that we're particularly happy to get one from is the Central Florida branch, which, as at this particular point, you know, is having their own issues, but we're happy that they're here. They have members here, and they've also sent this video. So please enjoy some greetings from our various branches throughout the country. Thank you.
Greetings from Kansas City, Missouri. I'm Ben Martin, the president of the ESU Kansas City branch. Kansas City is a young, vibrant city in the center of the United States. Our world-class attractions feature locations like the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art and the National World War I Museum. Our cutting-edge Kaufman Performing Arts Center is home to the symphony, opera, and the ballet. And our sports scene is home to one of the most popular of American football teams, the Chiefs, and a baseball team appropriately named the Royals. As an avid equestrian, we thought that Princess Anne would like to know that one of the traditional organizations in Kansas City is the American Royal. It features one of the outstanding horse shows in the country. Kansas City is also host to conferences of all kinds. The International Churchill Society will be meeting here to study and celebrate the life and accomplishments of Winston Churchill. Next fall, as one of the oldest branches of ESU in the country, we are pleased to be the host for the annual general meeting of the English-Speaking Union. From all of us at the ESU branch of Kansas City, we offer a toast and warm wishes to Her Royal Highness and everyone at the gala.
Greetings from New Orleans. I'm David Grissett, president of the New Orleans branch, along with members of our board and membership. Our members at the New Orleans table there in New York, as well as our members here at the live stream watch party, wish to thank Your Royal Highness for being the patron of the English-Speaking Union worldwide and for celebrating with the ESU United States in its now centennial plus years of important educational and cultural work nationwide. We also wish to thank our chairman, Dr. Equin Pieper, our executive director, Karen Karpowicz, and her staff for successfully organizing this wonderful event. And our best wishes also go out to all the United States branches and all the attendees there in New York celebrating tonight. Cheers.
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 Good evening. I'm Barbara Hughes, immediate past president of the Central Florida branch. It is with warm hearts that the Central Florida branch of the English-Speaking Union welcomes Her Royal Highness, the Princess Royal, as well as all who have gathered for our National ESU Gala celebration in recognition of our past 100 years. As we reflect on those years, we take pleasure in remembering our steady path of growth, our successful fulfillment of altruistic activities, and especially our great strides in accomplishing educational goals. As we plan our future, we seek opportunities to expand links to our community. We anticipate expansion of English language and scholarship programs and contemplate more services in support of our membership. Above all, our organization is dedicated to promoting communication using the English language as a pathway to worldwide understanding, whether that be person to person or nation to nation. The next 100 years will offer us possibilities that we now can only imagine. May we all remain faithful in expanding minds, strengthening friendships, and unlocking opportunities as we continue to strengthen our role in the English-speaking union. May each of you continue to enjoy the glorious celebratory evening. Good night.
Your Royal Highness, members of the English-speaking Union, I'm Robin Sinclair, former member of the National Board of Directors of the English-speaking Union of the United States, and it is my distinct pleasure to speak tonight about Dr. Paul Beresford Hill's achievements for our organization. He has led the ESU the past 6 years as chairman of the board of directors with graciousness, determination, wisdom, and courage. He literally invented the National Shakespeare Competition, which in its now 40 years has given hundreds of thousands of high school students from all over the United States an opportunity to memorize Shakespeare. And hundreds of those students, having won in their respective regions, have come to New York to compete in the final competition. We of the English-speaking Union of the United States owe an immense debt to him. And the ESU we see here today is, in no small part, because of his efforts over the past 45 years of involvement. This historic cup, fittingly, made in London in 1933, in the reign of King George V, by the renowned firm of Richard Comans, will now reside at the headquarters of the English-speaking Union. The base will be inscribed each year with the name and branch of the winner of the National Shakespeare Competition. It will henceforth be known as the Dr. Paul Beresford Hill National Shakespeare Competition Cup.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Robin. Your Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, I am indeed very, very fortunate to be standing here tonight with this beautiful cup. Roll over, FA Cup. Roll over, New York Yacht Club. Roll over, Wimbledon. This isn't about sport, it's about the brain, and it's about young people taking on the challenge of William Shakespeare. When I conceived of the Shakespeare competition back in 1983, little did I know that it would take root and grow into a US nationwide movement. The idea came to me during preparation for the Britain Salutes New York Cultural Festival of that year. At the time, I was headmaster of the Anglo-American School in Manhattan, and I was looking for ways to engage my students in this incredible British-American festival. I wanted to challenge them and involve them with Shakespeare, reciting a monologue, a sonnet, analyzing its layers of meaning, and performing, perhaps, in front of an audience. And to entice more young people to participate, I thought I'd tap into their competitive spirit by perhaps turning it into a contest, inviting students from all the New York public and private schools to participate. And with the encouragement of the Honorable Edwina Sands, MBE, who was serving as the festival's board of director, and with funding from British Petroleum, and with the backing of the English-speaking Union of the United States, I forged ahead, and the first Shakespeare competition came to life. It became national 5 years later, when the competition was hosted by the ESU Cleveland branch, thanks to a fortuitous circumstance that had to do with a sponsor moving headquarters and a very enthusiastic group of people in Cleveland. I have been fortunate in my life in being able to combine my passion for the English language, its literature, and the culture and values it enshrines, with my career as an international educator. My goal has always been, as a teacher, to instill in my students intellectual curiosity, the desire to learn, together with thoughtfulness and an appreciation of the power and the nuances of the English language and its rich cultural heritage. That's what the ESU National Shakespeare Competition is all about. It's what it does. And turning that vision into reality is arguably one of the proudest achievements that I have been able to experience. But I give full credit to the English-speaking Union of the United States, to our branches, to the ESU staff, for turning this into the ESU's flagship educational program, a program that now has international influence. They saw the potential, and they were, so to speak, its evangelists. This beautiful trophy bears my name, for which I'm deeply grateful, but the honor belongs to the excellence and the dedication of the schools, which have nurtured each winner, the ESU branches that have made it possible for them to participate, and it carries the names of the winners. They are the heroes who, in their own way, have turned A Winter's Tale into A Midsummer Night's Dream. I thank our branches, our members, our Shakespeare coordinators, the teachers, the ESU staff here in New York, and in the branches for embracing the competition and building it over 4 decades. I thank the ESU Board of Directors for naming this cup. It is an incredible honor. And I thank Your Royal Highness for being with us here tonight. Your presence makes this moment truly extraordinary. Thank you.
Dr. Paul, one moment. The Paul Beresford Hill Cup will now reside at the ESU headquarters. But as a special remembrance of this wonderful moment, we would like to present you with this gift. Should you wish a wee dram of an evening. This is Dr. Paul's cup.
I'll take you up on that.
Miss Dana Ivey joined the ESU National Board of Directors in November of last year, but she's been involved with the organization for over a decade as a judge of our National Shakespeare Competition finals in New York. Dana has won 2 Obie Awards, a Drama League Award, and has been nominated for 5 Tonys, as well as winning the Derwent Award for Performance as Gertrude in Hamlet with Kevin Kline, which was shown on PBS and Showtime. She was in the original Broadway production of A Sunday in the Park with George and is known for creating the role of Daisy in the original production of Driving Miss Daisy. She can be seen in a number of films and television shows and is a member of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. In 2008, Miss Ivey was inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame. Your Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Dana Ivey.
Thank you, Karen. Your Royal Highness, distinguished guests, ESU members, and dear friends. For many years, I've served as a judge at the ESU National Shakespeare Competition, their finals here in New York, and have witnessed firsthand the impact of this program. Young men and women of varying backgrounds and experience across the country work on and learn Shakespeare speeches and sonnets for the competition, through which they gain insight into themselves, human nature, and the world, as well as a deeper understanding of the English language and its beauty. Once again, a heartfelt thank you to Dr. Paul Beresford Hill for founding this program. I now have the pleasure of introducing Max Mester, the People's Choice Award winner of the 2020 National Shakespeare Competition. Born and raised in Philadelphia, Max attended Masterman High School. He now studies at the University of Pennsylvania, majoring in cinema and media studies, and is a member and assistant director of Penn's Mask and Wig Club, one of the oldest collegiate musical comedy groups in the United States. Max will perform for us a speech of Benedict's from Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. Your Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Max Mester.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife. Now, he hath rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would walk 10 miles afoot to see a good armor. Now will he lie 10 nights away carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honorable man and a soldier. Now as he turned to orthography, his words are a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me into an oyster. But till he hath made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich, she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. A virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician. And her hair shall be of what color it please God. Ah. Thank you.
To commemorate the centennial of the English-speaking Union of the United States, with the agreement of Her Royal Highness, thank you, Princess Royal, in 2020, the Cabinet Office approved the establishment of the Princess Royal Awards as an international award to recognize significant contributions to the English-speaking Union in the wider global setting. We are deeply grateful and honored, ma'am, for the establishment of this international award. It was a priceless gift on the occasion of the English-speaking Union United States Centennial. On October 21st, 2020, at a virtual gala, which celebrated the 100th anniversary of the establishment of the English-speaking Union of the United States, 6 extraordinary individuals were honored with the inaugural Princess Royal Award. They came from different backgrounds with unique life trajectories, but all of them have left an indelible impression of the English-speaking Union in the United States. What they share is a lifelong dedication to bringing people together and fostering goodwill and understanding among them through the use of the English language. May I ask the 5 honorees to walk to the stage? And I want to introduce them, but might you save your applause to the end? First is His Excellency Dr. Paul Beresford Hill, Ambassador to the Permanent Observer Mission of the Sovereign Order of Malta at the United Nations, Chairman Emeritus of the English-speaking Union of the United States, Mr. Donald Best, member of the National Board of Directors and the lead benefactor of the ESU Evelyn Wrench Speaker Series Endowment, Mr. Lawrence Morse, managing partner in Fairfield Capital, Founders Award recipient, the English-speaking Union Leward Morse Scholarship recipient and benefactor, and chairman of the board of Howard University, his alma mater, Dr. Quinn Pieper, a prominent physician from New Orleans, chairman of the National Board of Directors and the Honorary Council of Louisiana, and Miss Elizabeth DeForest Scott, philanthropist, former president of the English-speaking Union of the United States and the New York branch, and the major benefactor of the English-speaking Union immigrant programs. And posthumously, the late William R. Miller, CBE, Chairman Emeritus and National Board of Directors of the English-speaking Union.
Your Royal Highness, I want to express our deepest gratitude again for supporting the Princess Royal Award. It is a recognition of the highest order because your support amplifies its significance. Tonight, we are gathered here to bestow the 2022 Princess Royal Awards to 3 extraordinary members of the English-speaking Union of the United States. Each honoree comes from a different corner of our country. Each has charted her own path as a trailblazer, benefactor, and a champion of the organization. But what unites them is their commitment to the English-speaking Union's mission to E, expand minds, S, strengthen friendships, and U, unlock opportunities through the power of the English language. And I'd like to introduce them to you now. Dr. Loveday Conquest is a scientist, educator, Anglophile, and philanthropist. She's a renowned biostatistician in the areas of environmental monitoring, ecology, forestry, and fisheries. She holds undergraduate and graduate degrees in mathematics, Pomona College, and statistics, University of Washington and Stanford University. The recipients of several awards for excellence in teaching, she served as inaugural director of the University of Washington Teaching Academy and director of quantitative ecology and resource management. Dr. Conquest joined the ESU Seattle branch in the mid-1980s. She worked for Region 8 as the chair and also on the national board. She has been active in Seattle branch's high school Shakespeare competition as the current chair of the competition. Recently, she and her husband, Mr. Fred Kleinschmidt, endowed a graduate scholarship fund in the English department in honor of the English-speaking Union. Dr. Loveday Conquest.
Dear ESU members and friends, I am humbled and honored to receive this Princess Royal Award tonight. It has been a real joy and privilege to have been a member of the ESU for over 35 years. This organization has become a large part of my life, and I am so very proud of the work that the ESU continues to do to improve the lives of so many people. I include myself in that group, and I shall endeavor to give back to this wonderful ESU community as much as it has given to me. Thank you all so very, very much.
Ms. Natalie Prey is the quintessential cosmopolitan lady. Born in Australia, Ms. Prey was an officer at the United Nations for 30 years, up until 1995 when she married businessman and philanthropist Mr. Malcolm Prey. A member of the English-speaking Union for over 25 years, her first volunteer project was working on our late chairman, Emeritus Bill Miller's committee for Margaret Thatcher lecture in 1999 at the Plaza Hotel here in New York. She was elected to the National Board of Directors in 2006, served 2 terms, and chaired the National Nominating Committee. Since 2007 to the present, Ms. Prey has been the president of the Greenwich branch of the ESU. She's also a member of the Palm Beach branch Board of Directors, chairing its nominating committee as well. Her guiding principle of helping others has always been essential to her career and volunteer activities. With decades of serving the English-speaking Union, Ms. Prey looks forward to the future and the privilege of working through its outstanding officers, staff, and further promoting education and global understanding through English. Natalie.
Your Royal Highness, dear friends, this is an incredible honor and a very special moment in my life. I am honored and elated to be recognized and to be a part of the English-speaking Union for more than 25 years has enriched my life. I always felt that I received more from the ESU than I gave, but this award I will cherish, and it is really unexpected. From the bottom of my heart, thank you.
An ardent bibliophile, admirer of England and all things English, and a generous ESU benefactor and champion, Dr. Julia Churchill Vanderwater is a member of the branch of the Board of Directors of the English-speaking Union of the United States. She's been assigned to several board committees, including the Executive, Audit, and Finance. In addition, she's currently chair of the Regional Representatives, as well as Regional Representative for Region 4, which is North Carolina and Virginia. Dr. Vanderwater has represented the ESU at international council meetings in London and Lisbon, and attended the Centenary Conference of the English-speaking Union of the Commonwealth in 2018 at Dartmouth House. Dr. Vanderwater holds a Bachelor of Arts degree from Skidmore College, Master of Library Science from the University of Albany, State University of New York, Certificate of Advanced Study, Professional Diploma, and Doctor of Administration and Education from Hofstra University. She also pursues graduate study at the American University, James Madison University. Julia.
Your Royal Highness, this is truly an honor, and I am really thrilled to accept this award. It shows what all of we as a group do when we work together for the English-speaking Union of the United States, and I think that's the important part. You have brought friendship to my heart. I have learned so much from so many of you, and I would like to thank you for this honor. Thank you so much.
Consul General, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Well, firstly, can I say that I'm very relieved as well as pleased to actually be here. I'm afraid, as some of you may be aware, this is my third attempt. So we have kept it. Thank you for sticking with it. But you appropriately, you have enjoyed your centenary already. You're just extending the process slightly. That's fine. You have a lot to celebrate. And as these awards really underline, so in adding more congratulations to our recipients here tonight for the Princess Royal Award from 2020 and 2022, don't they just reflect how much hard work has been put in to the ESU, not just as an organisation that they've enjoyed being part of, but to build on its reputation and to maintain that reputation and to give it a very, very firm foundation for the next 100 years. So I think you have every right to extend your celebrations for as long as possible. And it is about recognising outstanding individuals from not only all over the United States of America, but all those other branches around the world. And their recognition and their interest and enthusiasm for maintaining the ESU and its core ethos of how important language is to bring people together. The list of countries and branches that were on that before, I think I've been to all of them, and I'm extremely grateful that they all have ESUs because it's been very easy to communicate when I've got there. Something tells me it may have little to do with the branch and its histories, but it does show how important that can be and how easy it makes it for them to be part of a global community and to make their own presence felt as well. And those who've been part of that journey, I hope have a lot, not for us to celebrate, but they can celebrate too in the enjoyment that it has given them. But you're also celebrating, and I think the video showed that extremely well, that over 100 years, you have built on some extremely successful programs that have enormously added to the ethos that your founder created and built on himself. All of the educational programs, book exchanges, cultural tours, scholarships, and they've engaged thousands of ESU members, students, teachers, and English language learners. And it is important to recognize that they come at all stages, and it's never too late to be part of these programs. That whatever stage you want to do a little bit more and to enjoy a slightly different experience. The secondary school exchange, I suspect, is the first I knew about ESU, because we did indeed have a scholar at Benenden when I was at school there. I have to say that eventually she owned up to the information that she was given before she came to school in Britain. Frankly, I'm astonished she came, given what she was told. But she survived, and I think in the end really quite enjoyed it. But I hope it doesn't seem quite as difficult now as it was then. But the programs for study at university in the United Kingdom, particularly the travel and learn abroad scholarships for American teachers, extends that process, not just about being students at any stage in your career. It can add to that knowledge and enthusiasm. And particularly, of course, the Luard Moore scholarships for gifted black college students. But we've been hearing tonight and underlining the importance of your National Shakespeare competition and how popular that is. This is not something you've had to make it work. It's been a response to interest, and the interest is continuous. And I'm sure that after 40 years of lots of excellent competition, it'd be really nice for them to have this cup to show off as well. Won't necessarily make them any better, of course, but it's it may be more attractive from them, their perspectives. But if the example we had tonight is anything to go by, I don't envy the judges in judging that competition. That sounds a real challenge. But the programs in English language learners and new immigrants, I think you've set some standards here in how to improve people's lives and finding them at the right time, at the time that they really do need help. English in action. Sometimes people ask if they, how can they help others? And they think they might have to go abroad, they have to give loads of money, but actually it underlines the importance of people giving time can make the difference to another individual. And it really makes a difference in their confidence and their ability to become part of that community. Simple, but really effective as a scheme. As indeed, of course, is the Andrew Romney New Immigrant Center, helping to equip newcomers to the US with those skills that they will need to integrate fully. All of those things are done by people who've just taken a little extra time and interest to make somebody else's life work better. And this all relates to this language which we share. We continue to share, and we can make very good use of that sharing. So it's been a real pleasure to join you today, to have an opportunity to visit the headquarters this afternoon, chance to meet some of the beneficiaries and students and those of the staff who make sure that you bring together all these people who have that real interest in language and of helping. And to the whole of the English-speaking Union of the United States, take time to really celebrate what you have achieved in these 100 years and the standards that you have set and the way in you're responding to the next 100 years, because you've already got off to an extremely good start. Thank you for setting that example, for supporting others. And I certainly look forward in the future to celebrating many more occasions when the impact of what ESU started 100 years ago is still showing how important language, common language, and being able to be a part of a community, which is a globally important thing to do. So thank you all very much indeed.
Your Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen, at this conclusion of this extraordinary evening, I would like to play some music for you. In memory of Her late Majesty the Queen, I will play a piece from Duke Ellington's The Queen's Suite, who composed this album in 1958 after meeting Her Majesty at the Leeds Festival. I recorded the whole suite this past spring with the Stephen Ray Artists Band in June. The recording was broadcast during ESU's Platinum Jubilee celebration. During ESU's 2020 Centennial Gala, which was held virtually thanks to COVID, I recorded Rhapsody in Blue, which I dedicated to you, Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness. And last year, my performance of pieces by Mozart and Chopin, those were dedicated with Michael Harold to the memory of His late Royal Highness, the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip. Your Royal Highness, this DVD contains all 3 concerts. Please accept it as a gift from me and from the ESU. So the piece I'd like to play for you now is the most famous piece from Duke Ellington's Queen Suite. It's called A Single Petal of a Rose. It's the best known piece and a beautiful expression of Duke Ellington's admiration of Her late Majesty Elizabeth II. Your Royal Highness, may I dedicate this performance to Her late Majesty with my deepest reverence. Well, our special evening has come to a close. I know I speak for all of you gathered here tonight by saying this will leave an indelible memory and a highlight in our lives. Your Royal Highness, I would like to thank you again for honoring us with your presence. I would also like to acknowledge Mr. Charles Davies, who is here with Ms. Catherine Hickson, for their invaluable guidance. Their good advice was crucial to the success of this evening. And a big thanks to all of you who so generously supported the event and joined us tonight in person and virtually. And as with all memorable events, it takes an excellent team to bring something like this together. And I want to thank our director, executive director, Karen Karpowicz. And her magnificent staff, without which we just couldn't exist tonight or do our wonderful programs. They made a tremendous effort into making this evening so spectacular, and I thank you all very much. So a good night to you all, and God bless.